From Royal Communications Incorporated, good evening and welcome to King's News Broom 45 minutes news about Liberia, Africa, in our one word. Today is Monday, December 30th, 2024, and I'm Sherman Deere presenting. In the headlines, major bridge linking Riverside to Sando in the southeast region collapsed badly a week after the Ministry of Public Works reopened it to the public. Criminal Court A Messenger Prince Coon sent to prison in Buchanan, Grand Bassa County for impersonating as a lawyer. As resident Judge Joe Bacon vows to inform Chief Justice Yanayo to deter reoccurrence. And also in the news tonight, 50-year-old watchman at the Morovia Oil Trading Corporation found dead in Cotton Tree, Magabe County. Family members termed the death of Morris Mole as mysterious and shocking. And away from Liberia, at least 71 people have died in southern Ethiopia after a lorry plunged into the river, officials say. These plus the news bulletin, voices of those making the news at our package, but we'll take a break to be right back. Welcome back at this juncture with John Stephen Compton with the news bulletin.
The Ministry of Public Works has expressed grave concern regarding the collapse of the RTR Bridge in Riverside County. According to a press statement issued by the Ministry of Public Works Monday prior to the collapse, the bridge has undergone intensive repairs by the ministry's bridge unit, adding that it is grateful that no lives were lost in the incident. The press statement also noted earlier in November the RTR bridge faced severe overflowing and unusual vibration, raising concerns about its structural integrity and promoting the ministry to intervene. The RTR bridge links River Seis to Sino and southeastern Liberia. A messenger of criminal co-aid at the Temple of Justice identified as Prince Cohn has been sentenced to 30 days in prison for impersonating as a lawyer in the Second Judicial Circuit Court in Grand Bassa County. Cohn is accused of claiming to have graduated from the Louis Iter Graham School of Law and acted as legal counsel on 2 occasions before being investigated by the resident Judge Joe Bacon. Meanwhile, Cohn has admitted of lacking legal education, adding that he has been falsely posing as a lawyer. Following his admittance, he was sentenced to 30 days in prison and will serve his prison time at Buchanan Central Prison. However, Judge Joe Bacon has condemned the fraud as an attack on judicial integrity and pledged to inform Chief Justice Sanayo to prevent similar incidents. Residents of Cotton Tree in Magabe County Monday morning woke up to the death of a man believed to be in his early 50s. According to our correspondent in the county, Morris Moore served as security guard for a branch of the Morovia Oil Trading Corporation in Cotton Tree, Magabe County. Our correspondent also said family members have expressed shock over the passing of the 50-year-old man who reportedly died overnight while serving duty. Family sources have informed King's Earth and Magabe County correspondent that Moore did not show any sign of illness prior to his demise, adding that it is difficult to determine the actual cause of his death. Maurice Moore mysterious death marks among recent reports of deaths of several citizens from different parts of the country. Many persons have blamed the increased mysterious deaths across Liberia to the lack of proper security by the government. President Joseph Boakai, on behalf of the government of Liberia, extends health condolences to President Joe Biden, the Carter family and the people of the United States of America on the passing of former President Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter served at the 39th President of the United States of America from 1977 to 1981. He reported that he reported to have died on Monday, December 29 at aged 100. A release issued by the Executive Mansion Monday described President Carter as a renowned statesman who was highly admired for his unwavering commitment to human rights, democracy, and humanitarian effort worldwide. The release also reflects President Carter's legacy, including his dedication to promoting peace and human dignity. In a related development, the opposition Coalition for Democratic Change has extended sympathy to the people of the United States of America following the passing of former President Jimmy Carter at age 100. CDC, in a release issued Monday, highlighted the former American statesman's contribution to Liberia's peace process and transition to democracy. The party named the banning of sodium and as well as the declaration of a blanket amnesty that allowed refugees and displaced persons to return to their villages to vote as some of the contributions the former American leader made to the country's peace building. The party also added that the foreign American leader's Fairmont Carter Center Foundation has helped in ensuring the end of the Civil War and paved the way for the conduct of free and fair elections in Liberia. The CDC of former President George Weah furthered that these efforts amplify President Carter's enduring delegation to improving life and fostering peace on a global scale, emphasizing that the legacy will serve as an inspiration to strive in strengthening and defending the rule of law in Liberia. The Director General of the Internal Audit Agency of Liberia, David Kiman, has highlighted achievements of the agency during the year under review. Speaking on state radio Monday, Director Kiman said a total of 12 special audits, which signify the fight against financial malpractices, were conducted by the agency in 2024. Kiman said the move aligns with the entity's compliance measures which aimed at ensuring accountability for the usage of public funds. He revealed that each institution that was affected by the agency's audit received a copy of the audit report with recommendations for further actions, noting that the report has been included in all the overall audit report for onward submission to the president. The IAA board also boasted of an increase in compliance in the number of internal audit with significant deployment across government ministries and agencies. Yet at the same time, dispelled media reports that the IAA indicted a bombing County Community College after a special audit report at the institution. That's former Deputy Information Minister for Public Affairs Anthony R.C. Jackson has criticized Finance Minister Augustine Gaffwan for what he described as a desperate and self-serving attempt to gain public accolades. Jackson's comment comes days after Minister Gaffwan was controversially declared Minister of the Year by a group of government colors and an announcement that Jackson believed reflected poorly on the minister's integrity and leadership. According to Jackson, the entire episode revealed Gaffwan's fury and his need for validation through unearned praise. He noted that Minister Gaffwan is driven by desperation for accolades, adding that the finance minister is bent to make an absolute fool of himself by inserting a group of remotely controlled government paid quarters to name him as Minister of the Year. Jackson further emphasized that the finance minister's decision to publicly embrace the title of Minister of the Year is indicative of what he termed as childish pursuit of recognition. He accused Gafwan of using the declaration as a means of self-promotion, pointing out that the three Unity Party Brigade members who reportedly bestowed the titled on him were part of a strategy aimed at elevating his image without merit. Jackson also slandered Minister Gafwan for encouraging such behavior. The Liberia's government failure to retrieve diplomatic passports from recalled ambassador alleged and special envoy has cast a dark cloud over President Boyka Mosh heralded governance reform agenda. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs' ongoing ineffectiveness in addressing this issue raises concern about the commitment to uphold transparency and accountability in a unity party-led government. Despite public outcry, the ministry's acknowledgement of the issue, no tangible action has been taken to address the misuse of diplomatic privileges by foreign officials that threaten Liberia's institutional integrity and international reputation. Maryland County District 3 Representative Austin Taylor has expressed his heartfelt gratitude through the citizen for electing him as lawmaker during the 2023 presidential elections. Speaking in the interview with reporters on Monday, the Maryland County Representative Taylor reflected on the overwhelming support he received from citizen and emphasized how vital their backing was to his victory. He highlighted the need for peace and unity across the country, stressing that the political climate, especially during election season, can create division. The Maryland County District 3 lawmaker noted that all politicians must focus collectively on the betterment of the country and the welfare of its citizens. Taylor also addressed the pressing issue of agriculture, particularly the country's dependence on rice as a staple food, while recognizing the importance of rice to the nation. Representative Austin Taylor also reaffirmed a commitment to addressing the needs of his people and working towards a more prosperous Liberia for all. The aide to former President Joshua Sekou Galasco has taken on the renovation works of the Winand Town Community Field. The renovation includes clearing and reshaping the area. The initiative was prompted by a request from the Winning Town community members through their leadership to Damerud seeking assistance in restoring the community space to promote youth development through sports. Galasco responded to the appeal and committed to the renovation project. This request emerged after a successful week-long Mark UEFA Champions League tournament organized under the auspices of Sekou Galasco Dameru with matches being played at the Winning Town Community Field. Despite previous commitment made by the Liberia Revenue Authority, the institution has admitted of being unable to raise 1 billion United States dollars in domestic revenue collection as projected at the beginning of 2024. LRA Commissioner General Double Jalad initially boasted of being able to raise 1 billion United States dollars in domestic revenue in 1 year following his appointment by President Joseph Boakai to replace the late Thomas Donald. Thomas Donald, who took over the Liberia Revenue Authority in 2018 with approximately $400 million in domestic revenue annually, pushed the amount to over $500 million by 2021. Speaking during a media engagement over the weekend, Double Jala, however, disclosed that the institution has raised $663 million of the $690 million, falling short of $20 million. Commissioner Jalad at the same time criticized state owned enterprises for failing to remit outstanding collection, which he described as a huge portion of the devalued contribution to the budget. Well, Shimon, it's back to you for the continuation of the news program.
Stephen Compton with the news bulletin. The news bulletin is a regular feature on King's News Broom. A reminder you listen to King's News Broom, 45 minute news about Liberia, Africa. In our one word, stories we following tonight: major bridge linking River Cess to Sando and the Southeast region collapsed, barely a week after the Ministry of Public Works reopened it to the public. Criminal Court, a messenger prince Cone sent to prison in Buchanan, Grand Bassa County for impersonating as a lawyer, as resident Judge Joe Bacon vows to inform Chief Justice Shannon Yo to deter reoccurrence. And ahead of us, 50 yellow watchmen at the Morovia Oil Trading Corporation found dead in Cotton Tree, Margibi County. Family members termed the death of Maurice Moe as mysterious and shocking. And away from Liberia, at least 71 people have died in southern Ethiopia after a lorry plugged into the river, officials say. We'll take a break to be back with voices of the newsmakers. Welcome back and thanks for being there. The Ministry of Public Works has expressed grave concerns regarding the collapse of the Artia Bridge in Riverside County. According to a press release issued by the Ministry of Public Works Monday, prior to the collapse, the bridge has undergone intensive repairs by the ministry's bridge unit, adding that it is grateful that no lives were lost in the incident. The Artia Bridge links Riverside County to Sando and the Southeast region. King's FM reporter Veronica Moba has a report.
Amidst the tragic accident in Riverside County, the Ministry of Public Works has expressed grave concerns regarding the collapse of the RTR bridge in the county. According to a press statement issued by the Ministry of Public Works on Monday, prior to the collapse, the bridge has undergone intensive repairs by the Ministry's bridge unit, adding that it is grateful that no lives were lost in the incident. The press statement also noted earlier in November the RTI bridge faced several overflowing and unusual vibration, raising concerns about its structural integrity and prompting the ministry to intervene. The Ministry of Public Works further mentioned that in response, the bridge unit promptly decommissioned the bridge and conducted repairs ahead of schedule. The statement also indicated that the damaged components will be placed in structural underwent a thorough inspection by the ministry before being deemed fit for relaunch. The incident occurred barely a week after the bridge was reopened to the public following months of rehabilitation works carried out by the Ministry of Public Works. The RTI bridge links Riverside County to Sano and other parts of southeastern region. According to report from the county, the bridge collided on early Monday when a low bear carrying an excavator broke into the bridge, causing its failure. Meanwhile, residents have expressed concern about the impact of the current situation, noting that it will hinder trade and free movement in the area. Some local residents also accused the Ministry of Public Works of doing poor rehabilitation works on the bridge, which have resulted to its collapse. Reporting for King News, I am Veronica S. Moba.
Veronica Moba with that report. Residents of Cotton Tree in Margibi County Monday morning woke up to the death of a man believed to be in his early 50s. According to our correspondent in the county, Maurice Moore, served as security guard for a branch of the Morovia Oil Trading Corporation in Cotton Tree in Mangibi County. Our correspondent also said family members have expressed shock over the passing of the 50-year-old man who reportedly died overnight while serving duty.
This morning, the people in Carthage woke up with this sad news where they discovered the death. They discovered the body of a man who believed to be in the early 50s. The name is Mr. Maurice Moore. He was a watchman at the Monovia Oil Trading Corporation, the branch in Cotton Tree. And this is the body. He died right in the chair. When the people wake up this morning, they saw him just lying in the chair. Here is his body, right in Cotton Tree here. And you see people from Cotton Tree all here, wanting to see people gather this morning with this surprising news to just hear that this man is dead. Here he is. He died right in his chair. This is the body. The name is Maurice Moore. He died right in the chair. And so many people in Cotton Tree wake up they wake up and got the news that this man is dead and he died right in the chair. For a man who came to work, and I was asking some of the family members, they said he never one day told them that he wasn't well, and in fact he was joking with them yesterday, telling them that he will be ready to watch this Chelsea game. I think that's what some of the family members told me this morning, and so just excuse me, for them to receive information that he died this morning right in the chair, and you can see this body. Here he is. Yes, he was a watchman for the Monovia Oil Trading Corporation branch in Cotton Tree. They sell gas here. Right here, when you come from Javier entering Cotton Tree, on your left there's a gas station here. There where he was working, he was serving here as a watchman. So he came to work yesterday, only to look, he was discovered this morning dead right in the chair. This is the position he was in, and security, you come and rest in the chair a little bit to take a nap, and he was discovered dead this morning here.
Kings FM Mangibi County correspondent reporting. The Director General of the Internal Audit Agency of Liberia, David Keman, has highlighted achievements of the agency during the year under review. Speaking on State Radio Monday, Director Keman said a total of 12 special audits, which signified the fight against financial malpractices, were conducted by the agency in 2024.
The eye is in a much better place than it was last year in terms of the cooperation we are receiving from heads of entity. And I think that is really good for the fight against fraud, abuse, and abuse in the public sector. There will always be concern from heads of entity. When you have power sometimes and somebody wants to checkmate you, you do get concerned. We do get some pushback, but on the most part, when we speak to heads of entities, when we tell them what our role is, we get the cooperation. One, in fact, good thing we're doing now, we're following up on other recommendations, which is a cardinal part of what we do. So we follow up on other recommendations with heads of institutions and then find out those respective departments that should be working to implement those recommendations. It's not always going to be 100%, but we have to keep pushing on, and that's what we do. Well, first, when we set up at the beginning of the year, we have an auditor assigned at a MAX, Ministry Agency, Commission, or SOE, State-owned enterprise. The first thing our auditor will do, or what we do a risk assessment of the entity, and then try to identify those areas that we think that are auditable areas of concerns. Once we do or risk assessment, also do a plan. We do our audit plan. So the plan will tell us what we're going to be doing during the course of the year in terms of what areas we're going to be looking at, what activities we're going to be looking at. In addition to that, the auditors who are based at these entities do continuous monitoring and real-time response to issues of concerns.
He at the same time dispelled media reports that the RAA indicted the bombing community college after a special audit at the institution.
We did an audit for the Bombing Community College, which was requested by the head of the Bombing Community College, and we sent them a copy of that report. I can confidently say how it got in the press, but one of RAA cardinal responsibility, which we think is a requirement for our auditors, is that our work is internal work, and we share it with the head of the institution. We share it with what the law says, where we need to share those copies, and it's possible sometimes, for other reasons, it gets in the press, but it's not RA's job to indict anybody. It's not part of it. I will tell you this. The IA Act says that all public related issues from the IA should come from the Director General. So if it didn't come from with my endorsement or my approval, it's not from the IA.
Director General of the Internal Audit Agency of Liberia, David Kima, there speaking. The Liberian government's failure to retrieve diplomatic passports from recalled ambassadors at large and special envoys has cast a dark cloud over President Joseph Boakai's much heralded governance reform agenda. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs' ongoing ineffectiveness in addressing this issue raises concerns about the commitment to uphold transparency and accountability in a unity party-led government. Despite our crowd and the ministry's acknowledgement of the issue, no tangible action has been taken to address the misuse of diplomatic privileges by former officials. Our reporter Benjamin Jensen has a report.
The government of Liberia failure to retrieve diplomatic passport from recalled ambassador at large and special envoys has cast a dark cloud over President Boakai much heralded government reform agenda. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs ongoing ineffectiveness in addressing these issues about the commitment to hold transparency and accountability the unit party-led government. Despite public outcry and the ministry acknowledgement to these issues, no tangible actions have been taken to address the measures of diplomatic privileges from by former officials of government that threaten Liberia institutional integrity and international reputation. 6 weeks has passed since President Boakai terminated the appointment of all ambassador at large, special envoy, trade and investment representative as part of his government reform draft. While only 3 individuals have been made to revoke their diplomatic passport, others continue to water their power and privileges associated with the diplomatic passport. Reports suggested that these as officials exploit their expired title to advance private interests, soliciting funds from foreign nationals and engaging in questionable activities on Liberia name. One of the most alarming cases involved Ambassador Ali Kibet, former special envoy accused of facilitating the illegal entrance of foreign nationals involving in dubious money operations in Liberia sub-Eastern region. The revelation was brought to light by Ibrahim Masale, an assistant coach for Kibet undocumented sport academy. Masale exposed how unattached diplomatic privilege has used by Kibet in order to weaponize and undermine national resources and insecurity. Keen FM News investigation have further uncovered the Ministry of Foreign Affairs' inability to recover this passport across its damage to the country's international image. Deputy Minister for Legal Affairs, Judy Aman, admitted that no formal effort had been made to retrieve the passport. Instead, on verbal instruction for former appointee to Deputy Minister for Legal Affairs, Judy Aman, admitted that no formal effort had been made to retrieve the passport. The lack of formal actions has prompted widespread criticism as it is seen as a failure of governance and an example of negligence allowing formal officials to follow the law with impunity. The government's inability to enforce even basic measures in this area has raised alarm, with secretaries pointing directly at Foreign Minister Sarah Pesorianti. President Boakai administration's campaign on a platform of reform and transparency is now facing growing insecurity. For King's News, I'm Benjamin A. Johnson reporting.
Benjamin Jensen with that report. A reminder you're listening to King's News Broom 45 minutes news about Liberia, Africa, and our one world. Stories we following tonight: major bridge linking Riverside to Sando and the Southeast region collapsed, barely a week after the Ministry of Public Works reopened it to the public. Criminal Court aide Messenger Prince Cone sent to prison in Buchanan, Grand Bassa County for impersonating as a lawyer. As resident Judge Joe Bacon vows to inform Chief Justice Shannon Yeo to deter reoccurrence. 50-year-old watchman at the Moroville Oil Trading Corporation found dead in Cotton Tree, Mangabe County. Family members termed the death of Maurice Mole as mysterious and shocking. And away from Liberia, at least 71 people have died in southern Ethiopia after a lorry plugged into a river, officials said. We take a break to be back with more voices. Welcome back and thanks for being there. Maryland County Electoral District 3 Representative Austin Taylor has expressed his heartfelt gratitude to citizens for electing him as a lawmaker during the 2023 presidential and general elections. Speaking in an interview with reporters Monday in Maryland County, Representative Taylor reflected on the overwhelming support he received from his constituent and emphasized how vital the backing was for his victory. He highlighted the need for peace and unity across the country, stressing that the political climate, especially during election season, can often create divisions.
Peter, thank you so much. Today's activity has got to do with the fact that the people of District Number 3, Maryland County, voted for me, and it is in all due respect and appreciation to come and thank them for this turning out in the rain and sun to vote me as a representative. So this visit is an appreciation visit to the people of District Number 3. You saw today, at the first instance, I went. When I entered the district, I went directly to my first hometown, Feluken. I came out, and then we started the tour. We are still touring. But tonight we'll be in in Bacon. From here, I'm going to Feluken. I'll be walking through. We won't drive, so I trust that some of you will not be able to go with us. So basically, we're stopping here for you, but this is an appreciation visit. Our country needs reconciliation. This country needs peace to go on. We have a history of a senseless civil war. I think it's only best that whenever we come out of the process, like an election, politics is something that divides a population. So when you come out of the process, you come out of election, it's only good that you propagate the message of peace.
Maryland County District 3 Representative Austin Taylor. Despite previous commitment made by the Liberia Revenue Authority, the institution has admitted of being unable to raise $1 billion United States dollars in domestic revenue collection as projected at the beginning of 2024. LRA Commissioner General Double Jala initially boasted of being able to raise $1 billion United States dollars in domestic revenue in year one, following his appointment by President Joseph Boakai to replace the late Thomas Dona. Speaking during a media engagement over the weekend, Double Jala, however, disclosed that the institution has raised $663 million of the $690 million, falling short of $21 million.
It is an inherently national problem, and there is no way outsiders are going to do it for us. We must do it for ourselves, and the way to do it is through domestic resource mobilization. Do we need to raise taxes? We might need to, but without raising taxes, there's really quite a lot. I'm still of the average foundation that we can raise $1 billion in 1 year if we all work together to close up the leakages. And we'll share with you some of the things that we think we can do together to be able to close some of those leakages and ensure that the government actually realizes those revenue. And then together, you can then hold the government feet to the fire to make sure that once we generate a revenue together, that those revenues are used to be able to bring the needed development in the country. When the Budget was passed initially, if you remember, it was passed at 638 million. Of that 638 million, about 42 million was supposed to have come from external sources. What we were charged to raise in our approved budget was 696 million. But then if you remember, there was a recast. And the recast did a slight adjustment and brought the amount down. They kept the amount at 738. However, it increased the external resource to 48 million and then reduced our domestic revenue obligation to 690 million. So what we've been raising since the recap up to now, we've been struggling to make sure that we can raise this 690 million. As of yesterday, we have been able to raise 663 million of the 690 million. So we've done about 96% of our target. So, but we still have about 27 million more to collect. And this outstanding collection, a good chunk of it is the tax that was placed on SOE for dividend contribution to the budget.
Commissioner Jala at the same time criticized state-owned enterprises for failing to remit outstanding collection, which he described as a huge portion of the dividend contribution to the budget.
Unfortunately, many of the SOEs have not been able to make those contributions. So it is not likely that we'll collect those money because those SOEs have made representation to the national legislature, they made representation to the cabinet to the effect that we will not be able to make those amounts available in the budget. So clearly, we will not hit 690 billion, but this is not owing to the fact of our failure to perform, it's because there's those exogenous items in the budget that we don't have control over. We're still struggling in the next few days to see by how much we'll be able to reduce the balance of 27 million that is still outstanding. And we think we might be able to shave off about $4 to $5 million of that amount in terms of literature. LPRC was taxed in the recast budget to provide 3.8 million, they've only done 2.5. NPA was taxed to provide 6.38 million, they've only done 3 million. NAFA was taxed to provide 1.2 million. They haven't made any contribution at all. And then other public corporations were taxed to do 500,000. We haven't gotten anything from them at all. Just so you get an understanding of the challenges in collecting the full 690 million. Notwithstanding that performance, it is important how our collection to date compares to what has happened all through Liberia's history. From 2015, it started at 438 million, but last year, the domestic revenue envelope has grown to 611 million, almost 612 million. This year, as of yesterday, we have already collected 663 million. So even though we may fall short of the 690 million as target, but the amount we raised so far has already exceeded all the previous years, amounts raised, since the establishment of the republic.
LRA Commissioner General Double Jala. And away from Liberia, at least 71 people have died in southern Ethiopia after a lorry plugged into a river, officials say. The vehicle, which was traveling through Sidema State on Sunday, fell into the river after it missed a bridge, a local official told the Reuters news agency. Osinile Simeon said many of the passengers had been guests at a wedding party. Traffic police in the region reported the lorry was overloaded, which was likely to have caused the incident. Mr. Simeon said further investigations are underway. Of the people known to have died, 68 were men and 3 were women. The Sidman Police Commission Traffic Prevention and Control Directorate said. Well, on that note, that's how we come to a near end of tonight's edition of King's News Broom. But before we leave, a quick reminder of stories we followed in the headlines. Major bridge linking Rivers to Sanford and the Southeast region collapsed, barely a week after the Ministry of Public Works reopened it to the public. Criminal Court 8 Messenger Prince consents to prison in Buchanan, Grand Bassa County for impersonating as a lawyer as resident Judge Joe Bacon vows to inform Chief Justice Sianen Yo to deter reoccurrence. You also heard in the news 50-year-old watchman at the Moroville Oil Trading Corporation found dead in Cotton Tree, Mangibi County. Family members termed the death of Maurice Moore as mysterious and shocking. And away from home, at least 71 people have died in southern Ethiopia after a lorry plucked into a river, officials say. Many thanks to our reporters, correspondents, and all those who helped in making this edition of King's News Brunei Sources. Stephen Compton brought you the news bulletin. Colinius Johnson sat at control and handled the technical aspect of this edition of the program. On behalf of the team, I'm Sherman Deer, our presenter. Thanks for listening and watching.
No